Alright guys, thanks for tuning into this car tech video. In this video we're going to show you really quickly, hopefully, 5 steps on how you can reset a warning light in your vehicle. There are 5 main steps that you need to follow in order to get rid of the warning light in your vehicle. So the first of all, you've turned the engine on, let's say for example, and you've identified that a warning light has come on your screen. So in this circumstance, we're just going to forget about these. We're going to focus on this one here and try and see if we can get rid of this one here. Well, let's say for example, you don't know anything about cars. This guide will work for you. So first of all, we're in a Porsche Cayenne here, so I've got the owner's manual. And the first step is identifying what warning light you have on screen. So we need to find the warning light which matches this one here, and as you can see, it's this one here. It's got airbag warning light, so we know that there's an airbag warning light or an airbag fault within this car. That is step number 1. Step number 2 is, well, you need to find out why that airbag light is on, and the way you do that is with a diagnostic scan tool. But don't just jump in and buy any scan tool, because the chances are there are lots and lots of scan tools out there which won't have airbag capabilities. And what do I mean by that is you'll buy lots and lots of cheap OBD2 generic scan tools on the market which won't diagnose an airbag fault. The only thing they are good for is diagnosing a check engine light. That's perfect if you have a check engine light, but in this case we got an airbag light, so we need a tool which will cover airbag systems and have airbag capabilities. Now you can pick up these tools, the ones with the more advanced tools, at Diagnostic World. It's www.diagnostic-world.com. I'll put the link to these kits in the description below this video. So this tool here was plugged into the diagnostic port, and we're going to go in and see if we can find out what the problem is with this airbag light and why it's on. So this is what step is this? This is actually step 3, and it's diagnosing the fault. So we'll go in, select our vehicle, and manually select, and there we go. This has airbag capability, so we'll click on airbag and go to read DTCs, that's diagnostic trouble codes, and it's giving us 2 faults here: B100 B1B, driver side airbag limit value exceeded, and B100 B1A, driver side airbag below limit value. So it's telling us that generally there's a problem with the driver side seat, or the driver side airbag. So the connections for all of these driver side airbags are underneath the driver's seat. So the next thing to do is have a look, see if we can see any problems and see any faults with the connections underneath the driver's seat. So we'll go and do that now. Alright, so we've got the driver's seat fully forward, and if we look underneath this flap here, we can see that there are airbag connections under there. So generally that looks quite loose actually. That one, well, you can see there, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but that has come out really easily there. So it looks like that is the cause of the problem. If we just slot that back in, pop it down, pop it in. Looks like it's in there now. That might just be as simple as it needs to be. That is actually kind of like step number 4, and that is fixing the problem. So if you were told that, you know, there was a faulty part, a faulty engine part, faulty sensor, then you would replace the sensor. Let's just say we've replaced that connection, so that is step number 4. So then we need to go on to the final step, and that is hopefully trying to reset the warning light. Okay, so we're back in the driver's side of the vehicle now. We've put the connection back in, so that was step number 4, the equivalent of fixing the fault. Step number 5 is really now coming back in to use this tool with airbag capabilities and see if we can get rid of this airbag light. Let's see how we get on. So we're going to go into clear DTCs, going to click on OK. When I click OK, just keep one eye on the airbag light, and there we go. Erase operation done. The airbag light has fully disappeared, and that is the 5 basic and simple steps on how to reset a warning light on your dashboard. And the process is really exactly the same for any other warning light. So If you had a check engine light, say for example, it would be a case of finding out what the warning light is on screen, in that case a check engine light. Number 2 is buy a scan tool with that capability. Recommend always going to Diagnostic World for your scan tools. I'll put the link to these kits in the description below the video. Step number 3, use the tool to diagnose the fault. Step number 4, fix the fault. So that's where it's probably the most trickiest, because if you've been told, say for example, you've got a check engine light, you've been told you've got maybe a faulty camshaft sensor or an O2 sensor or a MAF sensor, the obvious thing to do would be to replace that sensor. So that is effectively fixing it by replacing it. And then number 5, coming back into the vehicle, using your scan tool that you've bought to actually reset and erase the trouble codes and erase the warning light as well. 5 simple steps on how to erase a warning light on your vehicle dashboard. Guys, I hope this has helped you. I hope you've taken something from this, because you know, there's a lot of confusion about what needs to be done, and you know, it's totally understandable, because you know, you're not born with the ability to know this information. You know, it has to be learnt, and we know this from experience. So I hope it's helped you, and yeah, good luck with getting rid of the warning light on the dashboard of your car. Thanks for watching this car tech video, and I'll see you next time.